Well, here we go again. Another government shutdown. But this time, it's not about gridlock or just bad vibes. It's actually about one guy who's been planning this moment for years. Russell Vought. He's Trump's budget guy, the brain behind Project 2025, and apparently the new architect of chaos. And while the lights are off in Washington, guess what else gets delayed? Yup, the Epstein files. Let's get into it. Who is Russell Vought, and why does he matter? Okay, everybody, let's meet a brand new villain. Quick backstory, Russell Vought ran Trump's Office of Management and Budget. Between White House gigs, he built the Center for Renewing America and helped write Project 2025, a conservative playbook for overhauling the government. Yay! PBS has described him as a chief architect of the plan, and his organization sits on its advisory board. This guy also doesn't exactly hide his ambitions. He once vowed to be the person that crushes the deep state. Release those files then. Sorry. He pushed the Trump-era reclassification plan, Schedule F, which makes it easier to fire career civil servants and replace them with loyalists. So when this shutdown hit, Vought wasn't panicked, he was ready. Trump even bragged online. Yes, the real actual post of Project 2025 fame. What Project 2025 actually is. So what's Project 2025? It's bad vibes, man. The vibes are off. It's basically the conservative master plan for Trump's second term. It was written before the 2024 election was even over, led by the Heritage Foundation and backed by more than 100 right-wing groups and former Trump officials. At its core is a 900-page manual called the Mandate for Leadership 2025. It's a step-by-step guide to reshaping the entire federal government. There's a lot of evil schemes in here, but here are some of the headline goals. Purge civil servants with Schedule F and replace them with Trump loyalists. Centralize power in the White House, leaving agencies with little independence. Eliminate departments like education and gut others, from the EPA to USAID. Slash regulations on climate, healthcare, and finance. Inject ideology into policy, with Heritage calling for biblical values to guide agencies. And this isn't like a made-up conspiracy theory. The manual exists, and the shutdown kind of looks like their live test run. What the shutdown is doing right now. By day 2, the White House was openly talking about layoffs. Press Secretary and General Demonic Presence Caroline Leavitt told reporters cuts are likely going to be in the thousands. Agencies that rely on yearly funding are already feeling it. Science research has been frozen, economic data releases are delayed, federal scientists and analysts are locked out of their labs. Nature reported this shutdown is different because the administration is encouraging mass firings during this lapse. Economically, the White House says every week of shutdown costs billions. Analysts outside the government agree. Jobs, consumer spending, and business loans all take a hit the longer that this drags on. I thought Republicans were supposed to be the ones who were good at money and worried about debt. Why Vought has been waiting for this? This is exactly Project 2025 vibes, okay? The plan calls for dismantling agencies, centralizing power in the White House, and cutting whole swaths of government, from education to environmental oversight. And when we remember what Axios said of this guy knows bureaucracy super well and can weaponize it, this guy has long pushed deep cuts to Medicaid, education, and USAID. All very evil things that no one should ever fund. So when Trump publicly says him and Vought are deciding which Democrat agencies to kill off, temporary or permanent, it's not just them having another one of their little tantrums, it's following the step-by-step instructions they wrote for themselves in their sad little manifesto. The Epstein files connection. Oh yeah, you reckon this isn't about the Epstein files either? Think again. It's always about the Epstein files. Every time the government shuts down, Freedom of Information Act processing grinds to a halt. In 2013, the National Archives said requests came to a screeching halt. So, if you were trying to hide records or just trying to run out the clock for some reason, shutdowns are absolutely perfect. That matters because the Epstein files are already under political tug of war, and these guys are doing everything to stop them coming out. In early September, the House Oversight Committee dropped part of the Epstein estate records, including the birthday book Republicans rushed to dismiss. Then weeks later, Democrats on the Financial Services Committee said Republicans blocked a subpoena for Epstein's financial records. Again, Democrats eventually posted additional schedules and logs. Routers confirmed meeting plans involving Elon Musk and Peter Thiel, but emphasized how incomplete the picture still is. At every step of the way, Republicans are blocking this stuff. Now add a shutdown. Agency lawyers stretched thin and courts delayed. Every excuse to stall. We're short-staffed because we shut down the government. Oh, we need more time for redactions. It suddenly becomes, it sounds legitimate. And once again, the Epstein documents get pushed further down the road. The spin versus the reality. The White House line is that Democrats forced this. Trump's post framed it as an unprecedented opportunity to make cuts. But shutdowns don't just hurt Democrats, they hurt everyone. Federal workers missing paychecks, veterans waiting on benefits, families relying on WIC, small businesses who are waiting on loans. Scientists can't run experiments. Economic numbers that guide the market don't get published. Nature highlighted the science impact, but the ripple effect hits every corner. Like the government is not on. That's crazy. If this were only about negotiating, you wouldn't be openly gaming out permanent agency cuts while the shutdown is still happening. That only makes sense if you're using the shutdown itself as a weapon to remake government in the Project 2025 mold. What to watch next? Since a bunch of crazy shit will probably happen before you see me next, here's what to look out for over the weekend and the coming few days. How long it lasts. Every day adds more damage and more excuses to slow investigations and file releases. FOIA backlogs don't just bounce right back. What gets cut temporarily and then never returns? Trump's own words about Democrat agencies point to education, environmental enforcement, and watchdog budgets. The Epstein files. In September, momentum built with new releases. Now, I think expect some silence. Subpoenas to stall, hearings to stall, redactions to stall, and layoffs. If thousands of federal workers actually lose their jobs, that's not just a bit of economic pain, it's institutional hollowing out. Fewer people around to resist political interference. It's all very Doge, but without that guy there. Russell Vought has spent years telling anyone who would listen that his mission is to crush the deep state. And now, in real time, he and Trump are treating a shutdown as the tool to do it. And on top of that, every week of government paralysis gives cover to delay the Epstein files. Transparency always takes the hit first, especially with these guys. But guess what? I drink a lot of coffee and I'm awake and I'm here 5 days a week to fill you in on all of the stuff that's going on, all of the messes and the crazy ideas behind the headlines. So make sure you subscribe because we're having heaps of fun and I want you to hang out. Bye.